It's hot. G'day guys, Matt here again. Another start to the week. We just had our Monday morning meeting, and that's where we try and organise what we're doing for the week. But usually about an hour or two into the week, and it's all sort of changes. But at least we've got direction, so that's the main thing. So this week is basically, we're still repairing and just checking out some things ready for harvest. We've got most of the main stuff's all done. We've got the yellow Acco truck over there. We're just going right through it, giving it a service and a clean, and just get it tip top, ready to go. We have the old Chamberlain tractor, which was on the auger there. It's actually just over. See if we can see it. So it's over there. So it's an old Chamberlain 4480. So they were bought out by John Deere, so they actually have a John Deere motor in them. It was one of the main tractors back in the day. It's delegated to basically augers, so that's pretty much all it does on the big swingaways, so it works well on them. So yeah, we're just giving it a good check over. The boys are back on the dozers, so there was a bit wet last week, so not much happened there, but this week both of them are going again. Now this is a bit of metal that we got made up for the battery box in the dump truck. So I've got 6mm thick, got a little 90-degree bend on it, and that'll help give it strength because there's only one side of it that's got really nice thick metal to weld onto. But yeah, we just got to trim a bit off a couple of areas, and then use this angle on to actually make cradles for the batteries to sit in. So once we're finished with it, shouldn't have any more troubles with batteries falling through. Yeah, so this is the battery I touched up with the loader. That was going in the dump truck, and until I had other plans apparently. Well, nearly at the end of the day, and like always, most of our jobs we have are half finished, so either waiting on parts or things are getting fixed up for them. But I thought in the last half hour of the day I'd come and do a job that I was hoping to finish, and that way, you know, you feel good for the day. So I thought I'd come here to the blue forklift and just top up the brake fluid and give it a quick bleed and get the brakes working again. But it's turned into another half finished job. So that's, I don't really have anything to show for the day. Righto, so on the yellow truck, this is the alternator pulley off it. And you can see there, she just doesn't have much life left in it. So it's all basically worn down. So you want to have a good groove in each of those, and you can see it's just rounded right out. So couldn't get one exactly the same, but we did get a new one. It's got a smaller diameter hole, and I'm just going to have to modify it a little bit. I'm just going to have to take 2mm off there, and then we might have to make up a spacer. But got the got the drill bit there ready to ream her out, and hopefully we'll get it to work. Right, so I've got the ribs lined up, so you can see it's a bit of a different style pulley, but what I did also is I just put a little lip down the bottom there, so that just stops it from resting on the fan of the alternator over here. So I think that's going to work well. All I've got to do now is get a spacer to space that up to the same height as that one, and I think we'll be done there. Now, what piece of metal do I use as a spacer? I think these are a bit small. So I found that bit of metal. I just got to tidy it up a bit, and I'll just run it in the lathe here and just take off a small amount on the end, and that way I know it's it's all straight. Yeah, and as you can see here, someone's a little bit precious about their tap and die set, so I better keep away from that. Right, so an update for where we are is we've got this old Chamberlain here. Main thing was the hydraulic pump was leaking a bit, so I pulled it off to try and put some seals in it. Can't actually get parts for them anymore. So we're actually going to get another pump. Apparently someone's got a pump that will go straight on. And we actually wonder whether over the many years that we've had it, it has had some hydraulic issues where it's been getting hot, and it's possibly been just over pressurizing and the relief valve hasn't been working properly. So this new assembly we're getting comes with all of that, so hopefully that'll fix all of those issues. But yeah, given a hot wash, we flushed out the coolant. Well, actually it was water, and flushed all the mud out of it, and then put a bit of coolant in there. Got new belts, and yeah, just giving it a good check over. So this one here is just going to be on one of the augers basically for all the harvest. So yeah, often you don't check the oils every time you come in and crank it up, so that's why we're just going over it really well. So most times, first time in the day you start it up, you'll usually check the oil, but just throughout the day. So we want to make sure it's tip top, ready to go. Now the truck, I've just got the alternator pulley sorted on it, and it's just waiting on a new belt for that and a air filter. So, and then that's going to be all ready to go. Now the other thing is the big blue forklift. I tried quickly yesterday to bleed the brakes, but it's I palmed that job off thankfully, so hopefully we'll get that sorted. The other white Acco truck is done, ready to go. So yeah, it's just a few bits and pieces now. Well, we're on our way to the dozers. The fuel trailer, which we run fuel to the dozers with, actually a wheel nearly come off, so I've got to go and check that out, fix that. Yeah, I've got some bearings, and hopefully I can get that all going again, and then I'll call in at the dozers and have a bit of a look what's going on there, I think. When we built this, we didn't have in mind that it would be carting fuel every day, so we only just got sort of what the bare minimum as far as axles and all that go. We really should have got more heavy duty ones, but anyway, this wheel, I've got it all back together. Had some dramas with, I got the wrong bearings, and anyway, you know how life is. Just had to make use of the old hub and whack a heap of grease in there. Had to muck around for there a bit, but I've got it all back together, and I think as soon as possible we'll have to get a new hub, and the axle's pretty damaged up too. Well, I'm finally down here at the dozers, and yeah, I haven't seen them for a little bit, but looks like they've finished up some of the contour work, and yeah, just before we head off back to home, it looks like just doing a quick job on the in the gravel pit here. So yeah, it's quite nice gravel here actually, but it's very, very tight. It's you can see all these white sections there. It's just like concrete, so it's very difficult to break through that. But yeah, once you do, it's really good gravel. What is here, you can see it's got river pebble in the actual sandstone, so it's quite odd really, but there is a good amount of quite good gravel here. But yeah, the rippers are only going down like not even 4 or 5 inches. It's that tight. You wouldn't want to do this every day, but just to get win a bit of gravel, it can get it done. So yeah, just trying to get enough for the farmer to gravel a few of his roads. Again, this isn't our property. It'd be nice if we had gravel like this on our place,
But this is probably going to be one of the last jobs before the dozers get a bit of a rest, I think. Just coming into harvest, we're going to have to put them aside. Well, Phil's just pulled up here and checking out the pins and that, but this is an example of how hard going this is. It's hot. So yeah, we don't want to touch them. But yeah, I think, what, you reckon it's worse than concrete, do you, Phil?
Yeah, I reckon it should be pretty hard.
It's rock in rock. Yeah. So
we're getting through it, it's just slow going.
Yeah, this is where you need your dynamite, eh?
Yeah. You carrying that, are you?
No, I don't have any on me, no. Brad's been a bit rattled, so he's just having a break to unrattle himself. But yeah, I'm just going to hop on for a little bit, just to push over a bit of loose stuff back into the pile. Well, I've had my little turn on the dozer. Yes, it is a bit rough. It rattles you to pieces. Nearing the end of another day. Yeah, it's nice. A couple of big piles of gravel here, so probably not a lot left here. But yeah, Phil just went down to another little patch there just to test out what it, yeah, how it would go. Whether it was a bit softer, but no, it's just as hard. So yeah, it's pretty time consuming even for D11s. Righto guys, last job for the day is we are picking ryegrass out of the chickpeas here. So where the floods came through and wiped a bit of the crop out, yeah, it also brought in some seeds that are a little bit resistant to chemicals, so they're actually quite hard to kill. So yes, we are trying to get on top of them before they set seed. Chickpeas have got acid on them, so you've got to be a bit careful when you touch them and then rub your eyes, or if you've got a cut. But also they'll eat through your clothes a bit too, so this is a little bit unconventional, but a bit of industrial glad wrap, and hopefully will protect the clothes a bit. So I'll see in a minute whether I can see a ryegrass here and you can have a look. This is the ryegrass that we're pulling out. So you can see here, yeah, there's they come right out and then branch right out, and they end up with hundreds of seeds on them, so they're quite prolific spreaders. So these ones are a little bit resistant to chemicals, so that's why we're out here pulling them up. Righto, so this is the bit of plate that I got folded up. It's a bit of 6mm thick plate. Now this is for the battery box on the dump truck. You would have seen in the last video that the old one was virtually non-existent, so I've just roughly marked out where I think we're going to need to cut it, so I can cut the bulk of it with the plasma cutter. That way when we're down there I won't have to be grinding all day trying to cut through it. So yeah, these are a good thing. Our plasma cutter, this one's a 3-phase one, so we have to have the generator running to run it, but it does a good job. Just tidy a little bit of that up with the angle grinder, and yeah, I just have to probably wait until we get down to the dump truck until we cut up a bit of angle line to make the actual brackets for the batteries. Yeah, I think that might be the go. Righto, well we're pretty well under control here at the home block. We're still just waiting on the pump for that old tractor there, the hydraulic pump. Anyway, we're going to head down to the development block and I'll start on this battery box. We have the battery box. Now, I showed this in the last video, but as you can see, we're definitely in need of something a bit more solid. Got the battery tray in. Thought I'd give it a lick of paint while we're going. But yeah, just the way all the different angles were, and we couldn't measure it all and cut it all properly. So yeah, we just sort of had to make do with what we got, but yeah, I think she'll be certainly strong enough. Righto, we're done here for the day, I think. So, got the batteries in here. I may come back and put new terminals on these. They're just the old lead ones, and they, yeah, after a while they don't clamp up properly and don't make really good connection. But yeah, I'll probably put new terminals on that. But I got all the battery tray in, and yeah, there was only one little misalignment, and that is the batteries are just a bit too close together. The original plan was that would slip down in between the two. For whatever reason, it must have just moved when I was welding it or whatever, and yeah, it's a little tight there, but sometimes what you intend actually works out okay, because that there will stick up a bit, so the plate that goes along the top here, it's actually pretty well spot on the right height, so that if you stand on it or whatever, it won't won't squish down or anything, just help support that. So yeah,
should work out all right.